Hi everyone, it's Angela here and I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to let you know that I have an update. I'm going to be using this to update my family located in the Chicagoland area, updating them on what's going on with Hurricane Milton now. Last time it was Helene, now it's Milton, and it looks like Florida's going to take a direct hit, more by central Florida and southern Florida. So, yeah, there's a lot of craziness going on, but this is just to update my friends and family, anyone who has relatives in Florida, okay? Let's listen.
We'll be encountering some wind shear, so let's show you the new cone here, in fact, and you know what? This didn't change all that much, but it did change a lot from yesterday. Yesterday, the cone was right through Tampa Bay and even slightly to the north through about St. Pete Beach. If that scenario does happen, we would have a lot of storm surge pushed into Tampa Bay, right? But if this scenario happens, where I think it's going to continue to push to the south, and that would bode a lot better for us, then water would be taken out of Tampa Bay and so many more homes would not be as severely impacted as if this track was slightly to the north. So again, it is expected to be a major hurricane still at 8 o'clock Wednesday evening, and the times just keep pushing later and later for landfall. So we're looking at landfall now sometime between midnight and maybe 2 a.m. Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. And then once it makes its way into central Florida, pretty close to Orlando, look at that. It's still a Category 2 storm at 100 miles per hour. Space Coast dealing with a near Category 2 storm right around the Cape Canaveral, Titusville area. And again, this cone is very key. As you can see, it's right around Anna Maria Island. And again, if this continues to move to the south, then we are going to be spared 10 to 15 foot of storm surge here in Tampa Bay. I tell you, this track is huge, and the trends have been going south, even the GFS model. So, with that, let's tell you what is steering this. Yeah. The jet stream is picking this up and eventually moving this straight to the northeast. Still moving east-northeast, right around 10 miles per hour. But once this jet continues to lift this northward, we'll see that northeasterly motion, and then we'll see whether this comes closer to Tampa, closer to Sarasota, or even closer to Fort Myers by Wednesday. So again, the model plots, the average is still, the consensus models, right over Tampa Bay. But if you look, there's only a couple of models to the north and a lot of models to the south. Look at this. From Tampa Bay all the way into southern Sarasota County, that is where the most amount of models are clustered, right? So I do think this average will go slightly to the south with the 12Z model runs, which come out in just a couple of hours. Boy, that, again, is so much better for us in regards to storm surge, as we will have the water being pushed out of the bay. I like to show the latest models here. The GFS, that is the big one. That was way up near the Nature Coast the other day. Yesterday, it was Pasco County. Remember? Today, look at this. It's pretty much right along National Hurricane Center's track. Wow, what a shift to the south.
Eric, may I hop in here for a second?
Yeah.
I'm just curious because I'm seeing these 5 primary models. Why is the NHC's track more to really the north in line with the GFS, and we have other model runs that are going to the south?
Because the consensus, JB, which are the black models, the consensus are pretty much right over Tampa Bay. But if you look to the south, there's a lot more model activity south of Tampa Bay. And I do notice that National Hurricane Center tends to wait a little bit to see if the trend continues, JB. So if the 12Z runs come out in the next couple of hours and they do continue to track southward, then I wouldn't be surprised, JB, if we did see that trend a little bit further to the south. But if you look at the GFS, the Icon, and the Euro, they're very, very close to Manatee County, okay? So the track isn't that much further to the north of the Icon, which is the German model, and the European model. The European AI and the Canadian model are through Sarasota County. So again, Still early, but let's wait and see. The next track update will come at 5 o'clock, but I'm liking the trend. Usually we see the trend of the models first, and then the track will move. So we'll see the models coming out in the next couple of hours, what we call the 12Z models, which are the morning/early afternoon runs, and we will see if this trend continues. I do think it will. As far as GFS and Euro, very much in agreement through overnight tonight into tomorrow. And then the GFS takes this really close to us around midnight, landfall, okay? European model's a little bit later. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. So I do think it'll be closer to maybe 2 or 3 o'clock because the models have really been pushing this later and later. Once we get into Thursday afternoon, then both models have this emerging off the Space Coast, and things start to improve here in the Bay Area, and by late Thursday, the breeze really dies down. So again, if this does take a more northerly track icon, which is the German model and the European model, the European AI.
Okay, I'm gonna go forward again, and we're gonna look at that wind and how it's gonna be moving. Okay, so as you can see, Jacksonville is right up there. So yeah, we're definitely gonna be in there, but we, again, thank goodness, we end up getting like sideswiped, basically. So we're going to be getting the wind, and as I look out the window here, it is getting windier. The skies are becoming a little cloudier. It is unseasonably warm. The humidity, like you can feel that tropical air where, yeah, it's just been... So it's just that extra humidity. It's horrible. But yeah, we're definitely going to be hit with them high winds, and yes, we're going to get rain. I have yet to see any flooding, and I pray to God that we don't see any of that at all this year. We had made very, we did very careful research to make sure that the house that we were coming to buy was going to be in a, no flood zone. So, but it looks like that with the way these hurricanes have been coming at us, it's really weird to me that they're coming from like the Caribbean Sea, because usually the hurricanes that hit Florida, and I've been tracking hurricanes kind of, just to see how they're doing and everything, where they're going, because my husband has family in Puerto Rico. We want to make sure they're okay? And, yeah, so they're, I usually notice them coming out of Africa, but if I am not mistaken, this is at least the third hurricane to come out from, they originate as tropical storms, but then they get into the warm waters and all that. And, to me, I don't remember many hurricanes coming from the Gulf. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I'm not reading anything into that. But it doesn't seem like a lot of these, this year it seems more different than other years. So I'm just letting you know that I'm noticing a difference in the patterns. So, because you can see them usually, and when they're coming from Africa right into the Atlantic, and we basically get sideswiped, and just like we always do. But this one is just a little different to me. So do me a favor, please pray for us, because we don't know exactly what's happening. But I will be coming back with another update soon. Yeah, because this, they're like once in a generation talking about stuff like that. I'm seeing the clouds and looking at live video. I'm going to try to find some of that to show you guys that in another video. But either way, yeah, just keep following. And if we still have electricity, I'll be up here updating you with how we're doing down here, okay? Thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.